Did you know that the Bible also reveals rules that lead to financial freedom? They are not modern tricks or human theories. They are simple disciplines that God established so we can live with order and peace. Because financial freedom was not born in banks, it was born in the wisdom of God. And when these rules are ignored, disorder turns into slavery. In this video, I'm going to show you the biblical rules that can change your financial life not by luck, but through discipline and obedience. 90% rule. If something is not a clear and firm yes, the wisest choice is to say no. This rule prevents half-hearted commitments that drain time, energy, and focus, and it creates space for what truly matters. Biblically, Matthew 5 teaches that our yes should be yes, and our no should be no. God values clarity, not constant indecision. 20/20 rule. The 20/20 rule makes order easier by removing the emotional burden of deciding. If something can be easily replaced and does not represent a significant cost or effort, there is no reason to keep it out of fear. This rule helps prioritize peace of mind over unnecessary accumulation. Biblically, Psalm 90 reminds us that time must be managed wisely. Also, in 1 Corinthians 6, we are taught that not everything that is permitted is beneficial. Holding on to items with no real value consumes time and energy that could be used for more important things. 2 or 3 day rule. Building a habit is not about doing it perfectly, but about not breaking consistency. Missing one day is normal, it happens to everyone, but the real danger is allowing one bad day to turn into several. This rule sets a healthy limit. You can fail, but you can't disappear. When you decide not to miss more than 2 or 3 days in a row, you protect your progress and keep the habit alive long-term. Biblically speaking, Proverbs 24 teaches that the righteous may fall, but they do not remain down, they rise again. The Bible does not emphasize the absence of falls, but the ability to continue. In the same way, Galatians explains that the harvest comes to those who do not give up. Consistency, even imperfect consistency, is the path to growth. Night reset rule. The night reset consists of spending a few minutes each night putting the house in order before going to bed. It's not a deep cleaning, but closing the day with intention, washing what was left dirty, putting away what is out of place, and clearing the main spaces. This small habit prevents clutter from piling up and allows you to start the next day with clarity and less stress. Biblically, 1 Corinthians 14 makes it clear that God is not a God of confusion, but of order and peace. In addition, Proverbs teaches that diligence produces good results. Preparing the home at night is a practical way to apply these principles and care for the environment where we live. Rule of investing differently. Investing differently means stopping the habit of mainly spending on things and starting to invest in experiences, time, and freedom. Objects lose value quickly and are eventually forgotten, but memories strengthen relationships and create moments that last. Traveling, walking together, going to the park, or simply sharing quality time often brings far more value than any material gift. Biblically speaking, Matthew 6 teaches that where our treasure is, there our heart will be also. In addition, Ecclesiastes highlights the value of enjoying the fruit of our work and the moments of life. The Bible points more toward lived wealth than accumulated wealth. House on fire rule. This rule starts from a simple reality. We accumulate far more than we use. Over time, excess turns into distraction, wasted time, and mental burden. By removing what adds no value, you are left with what is essential and regain space, focus, and peace. Jesus warns in Luke 12 that life does not consist in the abundance of possessions. Hebrews also teaches that we should lay aside every weight that hinders us. Biblically, letting go of what is unnecessary is not losing it, is freeing yourself from what prevents you from moving forward lightly. Box rule. The box works as a simple and consistent system to maintain order. Every time something stops being useful, it is placed there without having to decide everything immediately. Over time, the box is donated and the process starts again, preventing clutter from building up once more. Biblically, Proverbs 11 teaches that a generous soul prospers, and in Acts 20 it is stated that there is more blessing in giving than in receiving. When we let go of what we do not need, we not only organize the house, we also practice generosity and good stewardship. If this message is helping you, subscribe to the Biblical Finances channel and write, "I declare that God's rules will change my life." Everything has a place rule. When everything has an assigned place, order stops being a constant struggle. Clutter often exists not because of laziness, but because of a lack of clear systems. When you know exactly where each item belongs, putting things away becomes automatic and chaos disappears almost effortlessly. Biblically, Proverbs 24 shows that neglect leads to deterioration, while consistent care keeps things in good condition. Likewise, 1 Corinthians 14 reaffirms that God operates in order, not in confusion. An organized home reflects an intentional mind. Work smarter, not harder, rule. Working smarter means using tools, automating processes, and accepting that not everything has to be perfect. The goal is not exhaustion, but saving time and energy for what truly matters. Doing things well, not necessarily in a complicated way, produces better long-term results. Biblically, Proverbs 13 teaches that wisdom guides our actions, while Ecclesiastes 10 states that skill and preparation save effort. God honors efficiency guided by wisdom, not unnecessary wear and tear. Decisions and sacrifices rule. Every decision you make involves a sacrifice. Saying yes to one thing means saying no to something else, whether it's time, energy, or focus. Living with intention means consciously choosing what aligns with your true priorities instead of simply reacting to what is immediate. The Bible teaches this principle in Luke 14, where Jesus speaks about the cost of choosing a path wisely. Proverbs 4 also emphasizes the importance of guarding the heart and directing our decisions well. Choosing well today defines the direction of tomorrow. Becoming unavailable rule. Blocking out times when you are unavailable to everyone else is a powerful way to protect your focus and mental rest. Without a phone, interruptions, or external demands, these moments allow for deep progress or genuine recovery. Biblically, we see in Mark 1 that Jesus withdrew to solitary places to pray and rest. Psalm 46 also invites us to pause and recognize what truly matters. Stepping away is not selfish, it is spiritual and mental wisdom. One thing at a time rule. Multitasking creates the illusion of productivity, but in reality, it scatters attention and slows progress. Focusing on one important goal at a time allows you to move forward with clarity and finish what you start, instead of staying busy but stuck. Biblically, Ecclesiastes 7 teaches that finishing well is better than starting with enthusiasm. Additionally, Philippians 3 speaks about moving forward with focus, leaving distractions behind. Real progress requires clear direction, not multiple open fronts. Avoid decision fatigue rule. Every decision consumes mental energy. When you reduce unnecessary decisions through routines and simplicity, you preserve clarity for what truly matters. Fewer daily choices lead to better decisions in critical moments. Biblically, Proverbs 3 teaches us not to rely on our own understanding at all times, but to walk with clear direction. Likewise, 1 Corinthians 14 reinforces that order produces peace. Simplicity protects the mind. Sunk cost bias rule. Keeping something just because you already spent money on it is not wisdom, it's immaturity. The money is already gone. What matters is whether that item adds value today. Letting go of what is unnecessary restores space, time, and mental clarity. Biblically, Luke 9 teaches that looking back prevents us from moving forward properly. Ecclesiastes 3 also reminds us that there is a time to keep and a time to let go. Holding on to the past often blocks present growth. Accumulating small wins rule. Great transformations don't happen all at once, but through small, repeated actions. Every small habit reinforces an identity and builds the person you want to become. What is small, when consistent, becomes powerful. Biblically, Zechariah 4 teaches us not to despise small beginnings. Galatians 6 also emphasizes that the harvest comes to those who persevere. God works through consistency, not only through big moments. Exploration rule. Trying new things is a practical way to discover what you truly enjoy and where your abilities lie. Exploration prevents you from living on autopilot and allows you to make better decisions based on real experience, not just assumptions. When you explore, you grow, understand yourself better, and expand your possibilities. Biblically, Ecclesiastes 11 encourages investing in different areas and not limiting yourself to one path. Proverbs 20 also teaches that plans are established through counsel and testing. Exploration is part of wisdom, not improvisation. The Big Reset Rule. From time to time, it's healthy to do a reset in key areas of life: spending, technology, work, or physical spaces. A reset removes accumulated excess and restores clarity. After simplifying, everything feels lighter and more manageable. Biblically, Lamentations 3 speaks about starting anew each day, and Ecclesiastes 3 reminds us that there are times to let go and times to put things in order. Resetting is not moving backward, it is realigning. Limit social media rule. Reducing social media use can radically transform anxiety, constant comparison, and lack of focus. Less time on screens means more presence, better relationships, and greater daily productivity. Biblically, Proverbs 4 advises us to guard what we give our attention to, and Psalm 101 speaks about not placing before our eyes what does not build us up. Limiting social media is protecting the mind and the heart. Schedule screen time rule. Setting clear schedules for screen use helps regain control of time and improves concentration. When usage is intentional rather than impulsive, mental and emotional well-being increases significantly. Biblically, Ephesians 5 teaches us to make good use of time, and Proverbs 25 speaks about self-control. Scheduling screen time is a modern way to live with discipline. Value rule. Spending money on what truly adds value and freedom leads to a more fulfilling life. Not everything expensive is valuable, and not everything valuable is material. Biblically, Matthew 6 reminds us that treasure reveals the heart, and Proverbs 4 teaches us to invest in wisdom. True value goes beyond price. Health rule. Investing in health is always worth it, even when it costs more at the beginning. Health impacts every area of life and cannot be easily replaced later. Biblically, 1 Corinthians 6 teaches that the body is valuable and must be cared for, and Proverbs 17 speaks about the importance of a joyful and healthy heart. Caring for health is stewardship. Less, but better rule. Prioritizing quality over quantity is usually more economical and more satisfying in the long run. Buying less, but better, reduces constant replacements and frustration. Biblically, Proverbs 19 teaches that wisdom protects resources, and Ecclesiastes 5 speaks about enjoying what is truly worthwhile. Less, well chosen, outweighs much that is poorly accumulated. Separate work and life rule. Leaving work in its proper place protects mental health and personal relationships. Not every moment must be productive. Some moments are meant simply to be lived. Biblically, Exodus 20 establishes the principle of rest, and Ecclesiastes 4 speaks about the value of balance. Working without limits eventually steals life. 90/90 rule. If you haven't used something in the last 90 days and won't use it in the next 90, you probably don't need it. This rule removes both emotional and practical clutter. Biblically, Ecclesiastes 3 speaks of times to keep and times to let go. Holding on without purpose prevents progress. One in, one out rule. Every new item that comes in should replace one that goes out. This rule maintains balance and prevents clutter from growing again. Biblically, Proverbs 13 teaches us to manage well what we have, and Luke 16 speaks about faithfulness in small things. Balance must be maintained consistently. Do not wait to have more money to start living with order, because financial freedom does not begin when income increases, but when you learn to manage well what God has already placed in your hands. God does not establish these rules to limit you, but to free you from disorder, stress, and the slavery of uncontrolled consumption. It is not restriction, it is direction. It is not loss, it is wisdom. And it is not coincidence, it is applied obedience. In the end, the difference is not in how much you have, but in how you manage it, because disorder enslaves, but discipline guided by God produces true financial freedom. If this video helped you understand how biblical discipline can transform your life and your finances, subscribe to the Biblical Finances channel and activate the notification bell to keep learning biblical wisdom applied to money.